Today our topic is why Stoics emphasized virtue over success. The Stoics were ancient philosophers who believed that the key to a good life is not in achieving success, wealth, or fame, but in living a life of virtue. They taught that virtue is the highest good and that everything else, money, power, status, is indifferent. What does this mean? It means that while these things can be nice to have, they are not necessary for a happy and fulfilling life. What truly matters is how we live, how we treat others, and how we respond to the challenges life throws at us. The Stoics believe that virtue is the only thing that is truly under our control. We cannot always control what happens to us, but we can always control how we respond. This is a powerful idea because it shifts the focus from external outcomes like success to internal qualities like character, wisdom, and self-discipline. Imagine two people. One is very successful in their career, making a lot of money and gaining recognition, but they are dishonest, selfish, and unhappy. The other person is not as successful in the traditional sense. They may not have a high-paying job or a big house, but they are kind, honest, and content with their life. According to the Stoics, the second person is living a better life because they are living with virtue. Success, as the world defines it, is often tied to things that are outside of our control. You can work hard, but you might not get the promotion you want. You can be talented, but you might not become famous. The Stoics would say that focusing on these external goals is a mistake, because it sets us up for disappointment and frustration. Instead, we should focus on what we can control: our actions, our thoughts, and our attitudes. If we live with integrity, treat others with respect, and face challenges with courage, we can find peace and fulfillment, regardless of whether we achieve success in the eyes of the world. The Stoics believe that virtue is made up of four main qualities: wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. Wisdom is the ability to see what is true and good, and to make wise decisions. Courage is the strength to face difficulties, and to stand up for what is right, even when it is hard. Justice is treating others fairly, and with kindness, and contributing to the common good. Self-discipline is the ability to control our desires and impulses, and to stay focused on what truly matters. These four virtues are interconnected, and together they form the foundation of a good life. For example, if you have wisdom, you will understand that it is better to be honest than to lie, even if lying might bring you short-term benefits. If you have courage, you will be able to stand up for your beliefs, even when others disagree with you. If you have justice, you will treat others with fairness and compassion, and you will work to make the world a better place. And if you have self-discipline, you will resist the temptation to chase after things that do not truly matter, like money or fame, and instead focus on developing your character and living a meaningful life. The Stoics also believe that living a virtuous life leads to a state of inner peace called Ataraxia. This is a state of calm and tranquility that comes from knowing that you are living in accordance with your values and principles. When you are virtuous, you do not need to worry about what others think of you, or whether you are successful in the eyes of the world. You know that you are doing the right thing, and that is enough. This is why the Stoics emphasize virtue over success. Success is fleeting, it can come and go, and it often depends on factors that are beyond our control. But virtue is something that we can always cultivate, no matter what our circumstances are. Even if we face setbacks, failures, or hardships, we can still choose to act with wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. And in doing so, we can find a deep and lasting sense of fulfillment. One of the most famous Stoic philosophers, Epictetus, was born a slave and faced many challenges in his life. But he believed that no matter what happens to us, we always have the power to choose how we respond. He said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is a powerful reminder that we cannot always control our external circumstances, but we can always control our internal response. Another Stoic philosopher, Marcus Aurelius, was a Roman emperor who ruled during a time of war and crisis. Despite his power and wealth, He believed that true happiness comes from living a virtuous life. In his writings, he often reminded himself to stay focused on what is truly important. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. This is a call to action to stop worrying about what success looks like, and instead focus on being a good person. The Stoics also believed that we should not fear failure or hardship, because these experiences can help us grow and become stronger. They saw challenges as opportunities to practice virtue. For example, if you lose your job, you can choose to respond with resilience and determination rather than despair. If you face criticism or rejection, you can choose to respond with humility and grace rather than anger or resentment. By facing difficulties with courage and wisdom, we can develop our character and become better people. In today's world, where success is often measured by wealth, fame, and status, the Stoic emphasis on virtue is more important than ever. Many people spend their lives chasing after external goals, only to find that these things do not bring them lasting happiness. They may achieve success, but they still feel empty inside. The Stoics would say that this is because they are focusing on the wrong things. True happiness comes from living a life of virtue, from being kind, honest, courageous, and self-disciplined. This is not to say that success is bad or that we should not strive to achieve our goals. The Stoics were not against success. They simply believed that it should not be our primary focus. Success can be a byproduct of living a virtuous life, but it should not be the main goal. If we focus on being good people, success may follow, but even if it does not, we can still find fulfillment in knowing that we have lived with integrity and purpose. In conclusion, the Stoics emphasized virtue over success because they believed that virtue is the only thing that truly matters. Success is often outside of our control, but virtue is something that we can always cultivate, no matter what our circumstances are. By focusing on wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline, we can live a life of meaning and fulfillment, regardless of whether we achieve success in the eyes of the world. The Stoic philosophy reminds us that true happiness does not come from external achievements, but from the quality of our character and the way we choose to live our lives. So let us strive to be virtuous, to face challenges with courage, to treat others with kindness, and to live with integrity. In doing so, we can find a deep and lasting sense of peace and fulfillment that no amount of success can ever provide.